Hi everyone. Today we are finishing up our integrated marketing campaign. So far in our campaign, just to recap, we did our description of our product, our company with the SWOT analysis. We identified our target market, selected SMART goals and objectives. We developed a message that we integrated into our promotional mix. We figured out a budget and an action plan for our campaign. And now, what we need to do is we need to evaluate our campaign to figure out how successful our campaign was. And so, in order to do that, we need to use metrics. So, metrics are standards of measurement that will be used to track and evaluate marketing activities. There's many different ways that you can track how effective your company is. One of the ways is through reach. So, reach is the number of viewers expected to see an ad. Now, this can take shape in the form of impressions. So, how many times someone basically saw it. The potential reach is going to be your followers, fans, and subscribers. And then your confirmed reach is going to be your views, your post or page views, and your video views. So, it's very important to make sure that when you have an ad, it is reaching all of your followers, fans, and subscribers, and we are getting confirmed reach through their views, page views, and video views. Um, it's also very important that these followers, fans, subscribers are coming back. And so then we also want to continue to look at repeat visits as another way to measure your successfulness. There's also something called a conversion rate, and a conversion rate is an interaction a customer has with your website that contributes to your business goal. So, an example would include clicking on a call to action, signing up for an email or newsletter, or making a purchase. So, for example, we really want people to click on that Instagram ad, but a when we're making a conversion, it's when they click on that Instagram ad and they make a purchase as a result of that ad. We can also measure our successfulness through engagement. So, engagement includes liking something on Facebook or Instagram, commenting on it, sharing, retweeting, or reposting it. Um, so that ultimately it is making an impression on our consumer. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to be familiar with. The first is cost per click. That's also known as CPC, and that refers to the actual price you pay for each click in your pay per click marketing campaigns. So, this is specifically going to be geared towards social media or email marketing. Cost per impression is the measured cost that one will pay when their ad is shown per 1,000 impressions, also known as CPM. So, this is going to help to determine other calculations for ads like the cost per click or the click through rate. And the click through rate, also known as C2R or CTR, is going to measure what percentage of people clicked on the ad to arrive at the destination site. This isn't going to include the people who failed to click yet arrived at the site later as a result of seeing the ad. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Um, as far as websites go, we kind of talked about this earlier in the year. There's SEO keyword ranking, and that's going to measure your search engine rankings for targeted keyword or keywords. It's going to analyze changes in that ranking over time. We also have a phrase called unique visitors. So, a unique visitor is going to be the actual number of people who have come to your website at least once during the reporting period. It's not going to increase if a previous visitor returns to a page multiple times. Total sessions or visit. Well, first, a session is a series of analytics activities taken by a visitor to your website. It's just a better way of grouping a visitor's interaction with your website. And then average time on site is important as well, because you want your consumers to, or your target market to interact with your page. So that's a type of visitor report that's going to provide data on the amount of time that the visitors have spent on your website. A couple more. We have email marketing. We want to know what the open rate is. So you get all this email to you all the time, but how many people are actually opening those emails and reading them and being impressed by them? So it's calculated by dividing the number of email messages opened by the total number of email messages sent. So that is included. That's important to know. The click through rate in terms of email marketing is going to tell you the percentage of people who click on your ad after seeing it. It's going to be calculated by dividing the number of people who click after seeing your ad by the total number of impressions your ad received. A bounce rate is a single page session on your site, such as when a user opens a single page on your site and then exits without triggering any other requests to the analytics server. And then the unsubscribe rate is the percentage of recipients that unsubscribe from the email message. As far as public relations go, advertising value equivalency is a measure that's been used in the public relations industry to measure the benefit to a client from the media coverage of a PR campaign. Clip or article counting is the most basic form of media monitoring. It's going to involve manually clipping articles from a set of publications and then tabulating the numbers by hand. And then brand mentions, this is probably the most popular. This is going to refer to the references of your brand on other sites without the use of a hyperlink. So this is very key to measure how successful your brand is doing and whether it's positive or negative. So ultimately, what you guys are going to be doing is you are going to select different metrics that you are going to utilize to determine if you were successful or not in implementing your campaign. You would then explain why you chose these metrics. The last step in our integrated marketing campaign is to complete an executive summary. This is typically going to be the beginning of your campaign, just to kind of give like an overview of your campaign, and then you go into more details. But we're completing it last, even though it belongs first in your presentation. So it's just going to provide a snapshot of your campaign. It's going to try to entice executives to keep reading or keep listening, and it's going to try to address each element of the campaign. What I am specifically looking for here is that you are summing up each one of these sections that we've gone over. Each one of these sections of the campaign should have a bullet in your executive summary. That way, your audience knows exactly what they can expect in your presentation or pitch.